TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. It's Mozzie and it's Live Zone. It's coming at you here on Live Zone Sports, part of the ECSI, of course. We're happy because football is going down right around Christmas time. There's snow on the ground. There's hard hits going down. There's division rivalries going down. Live Zone, what's going on? Welcome back. How you doing?
We're doing good. We got a special little episode here for you, giving you the Live Zone picks of the week. Play them, don't play them, do whatever you want with them. We just thought that we would give you a nice little episode, giving you what we got for the week.
Absolutely. We're looking at the NFL slate of games. We're breaking it down 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock, even throw in the Monday night for you. We're going to give you a little breakdown on it, give you who we're going to take and why and what's going down with the matchups. Without any further ado, we're going to kick it right off and head over to Carolina, where the Arizona Cardinals are matched up against the Carolina Panthers in a game that a lot of people probably didn't think would mean a lot at the end of the season. I know I probably would be on that boat. It is important for Arizona's sake. It's important for Carolina's sake, depending on where they want to end up in the draft. So, Live Zone, Arizona fighting for division still has a chance to get it done, needs help with it, but also needs to win. And Carolina, are they playing for a pick in the draft, or does Bryce Young want to go out there and ball? Who you got taking this one?
I definitely have the Arizona Cardinals. I see both the Rams and the Seahawks losing this week. We'll get into that. But because of that, I have the Arizona Cardinals trying to make a little bit of a run. Not going to really matter much. I'm looking at the under-over at -5. I would definitely take that. I don't see it being over 47 points, so maybe take the under on that game as well. But overall, I see the Arizona Cardinals winning this one.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know which way you're really supposed to go on this game. I don't know which team Arizona is going to show up. If it's the team we saw last week against the New England Patriots, Arizona should win this game. If it's the team we see show up against the Seattle Seahawks in the division games, I think Carolina might actually pull this game out. It's the last home game of the season for Carolina. Bryce Young's been in these games against top teams recently, should have beat or been in the lead with time winding down against the Eagles if his receiver is able to hold on to that ball at the end zone. But Carolina playing honestly decent football here at the end of the season. It hasn't equivalated to wins, but I like what I'm seeing from Carolina. I'm going to take Carolina at home to defeat these Arizona Cardinals. Again, just no faith at all in Kyler Murray or what he's doing. James Conner, that's a way that I see them stealing this game. If he goes off and puts up 2 touchdowns like he did last week again against the Patriots, they could definitely steal this game, but I don't think it's going to be on the hands of Kyler Murray. I do love their receiving core. I just don't think the distributor can get the ball to them. McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., everybody over there. So give me the Carolina Panthers in a tight game. I see them winning by 3. Moving right along, we got another 1 o'clock game. We're looking at the Tennessee Titans visiting the Indianapolis Colts, a division rival. Yes, division games going down. Indianapolis still hanging around in the playoff race, has about like a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Still, I think if they win this game, it goes up a little more. Tennessee playing spoiler for whoever they want to play, and looking at the NFL draft heavily coming up. What do you see going down in this game? One team not really playing for anything, one team playing for maybe something, kind of a garbage time game. Who you got winning this one?
I'm going to tell you straight up, I think both teams can score over 21 points. I'm taking the over for this, over 42.5. I think both teams are going to be on the run game heavily. I think you're going to see a lot of run from Anthony Richardson as well as Tony Pollard. I think you're going to see a lot of run game here in this game. I would honestly think about taking Tennessee plus 3.5. They've been doing good in the last few weeks, and having them not being favored in this game is absolutely crazy to me, knowing that it's a division game. I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. I think that the Tennessee Titans take this one here and really puts that Indianapolis Colts outside of the playoff picture.
Yeah, if Indianapolis loses this game, they are out and done and a fish out of water. If I was betting on this game, my advice would be don't bet on this game, because this game is one of those games that's going to go every which way. There's going to feel like bounces every which way, calls every which way. I don't know a way to call it. Could end up high scoring, could end up no touchdowns and only field goals. It's a division game, adds an element to it already on top of it that it means something, even if it doesn't mean anything. I like Tennessee the way that they've played. I think their record doesn't show actually how good of a team they had been through the year. If they didn't have the current quarterback situation as well, I think they'd be a much stronger team. I do like how they're built. I would say give me Indianapolis to win this game. It's at home. It does mean a little something. It keeps their hopes alive a little bit if they get it done. And if anything, that's something they can stick with. So give me the Colts at home to defeat Tennessee. So far, we're both on the opposite sides of the picks. So moving right along, we're going to the third game on the 1 o'clock slate for week 16. And that's the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. In Cincinnati, Cleveland going out there, not sure if Jameis Winston's going to play. I heard it's doubtful. It's still questionable. Joe Burrow ready to go for the game. Live zone. Who do you have walking out of Cleveland with a dub?
So this is one of the games that I would say stay away from. Division, like I said, Cleveland and Cincy, they always have each other's names and always has each other's by the jersey. Even though Winston is not playing, we don't know what we're gonna see from this quarterback coming in. And in that case, I'm staying away from the under over, and I'm staying away from the spread. I'm just gonna go with Cincinnati here for the win. I think that you're good with Joe Burrow for 2 touchdowns and Jamar Chase for 1. But other than that, yeah, I would really think about staying away from this one.
Yep. Don't make it too difficult on yourself. Look at the game for what it is. Again, a game that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Since he has a 1% chance of making the playoffs, they need a lot of things to fall right. I think they get the win at home mainly just because of how Joe Burrow's played. If you've been with us, you heard us talking about Joe Burrow being the top quarterback all season long. If you look at it statistically, there is an argument there. Whether it's result based is to be determined by the person talking about it. Give me the Bengals at home to defeat the Browns, especially if Jameis Winston is not playing. I've seen that. We've seen the backup, I believe it's Robinson, that we've seen him play a couple games. Doesn't really drive the field that much. Doesn't really put up points. For these Bengals, even when they lose, they put up points. So you got to score against these Bengals. So give me the Bengals at home. Moving right along, a game that I'm pretty much really interested in, merely based on the fact that the Lions are missing 15 defensive players. 15 of them are on the injured report. So they're missing a whole defense essentially, and a huge offensive piece in David Montgomery. The Lions are visiting the Bears in Chicago. Gonna be cold. Lions play in a dome, live zone. I'm loving this matchup because I think it's going to be closer than we think it's going to be. Division rivals again. Remember the Thanksgiving one? It was close, and Chicago just ended up just not playing football in the last minute of the game and losing the game. What do you think is going to go down in Chicago for this game?
Well, I'm looking at this and looking at the last game that they played. I'm taking Chicago +7. I think that Chicago +7 for the spread is perfect. I think that that's right where they want to be, especially with the defense lacking. No David Montgomery as well. You got to remember that. With how close the game is, these games are always going to be close between this division because this is probably the best division in football if we look at it. +7 for the Chicago Bears, I would definitely take that. I would also end up taking the over on the points, 47.5 points. I really like that. For the winner, I'm still going with Detroit, though. I really am. I think that Detroit can still get it done with the offense that they have. I know that they have to rely hard on Jamar Gibbs. I know that Amon-Ra St. Brown is there. And same with Sam Laporta. I'm looking at the options that they have, and they're going to pull a few tricks up their sleeves this week against the Chicago Bears, especially with it being a division game, and they're really in the spot of, well, we need to win a game because Minnesota is on our tail. I'm going with Detroit here.
Yeah, give me Detroit on the road. I think they're going to put up at least 30 points on Chicago. I don't think Chicago can score 30 points at this point in the season. So definitely give me the Lions. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care about the division. They want to take that top seed in the NFC, and they want to win their division on top of it. Tied up with Minnesota, must-win game here for them. Moving forward, looking at the rest of the schedule, this is one they have to have. Give me the Lions on the road. Give me the spread, over the spread. I see him winning by possibly 2 touchdowns or more. Moving forward, we have another division matchup. Eagles and the Commanders in Washington. Interesting matchup. Rookie versus Jalen Hurts. A streaking team. Saquon Barkley, well aware that he is 418 yards away from breaking the single-season rushing yard record that stood for about 40 years or more. Now, what do we think is going to happen in this game? Is Saquon going to run all over him? Are the Eagles going to feed him the ball and try and break the record with him? Or are the Eagles trying to actually win this game, defeat the Commanders, make it even harder for them to make it to the playoffs? Or are the Commanders going to pull one out here in the division at home, solidify them essentially making the playoffs, and ride off into the sunset?
Well, I think that one thing that you can definitely take to the bank is that it's going to be run heavy on both sides. I think Saquon Barkley and Brian Robinson Jr., them two being there, I would take the over on their rushing yards, both of them. I'm gonna go with the under for 47 points. I don't think that this is going to be a high scoring game. I think that this is going to be maybe a 21-18 game or 21-14 game, something like that. But I would definitely think about taking the Washington Commanders here. They need a win to get into the playoffs. Philadelphia doesn't really need the win, but they need to give Saquon Barkley the ball. So me, honestly, I don't know who I have for the winner. I would think about taking the Commanders here, but I can tell you that having the rushing yards for Brian Robinson Jr. and Saquon is probably a lock.
All right. I took Saquon in mind. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game based solely upon Saquon's shoulders. I think he's going to rush for a lot. He's going to get it done. They're going to put up a lot of easy points. I think it's going to be a low amount of offensive drives in this game. unless there's a lot of defensive turnovers, but I don't think there will be. I think there'll be long, sustainable drives in this game that take up huge chunks of time throughout the game. So everybody gets less amounts of possessions. And I think the Eagles are going to ultimately win the game, capitalize on everything. They have more of the balanced rushing attack. They're a complete team, arguably the most complete team in all of NFL. And I think it's just going to be too much for the Commanders. I don't think they're in the same league. Truthfully, when it comes down to football on a Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, whatever you want to chop it up to. So we got another 1 o'clock game, though. We're looking Giants, Falcons. This is an interesting one. Michael Penix Jr. has now been announced as the starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. He said he was getting a hot dog when he got the call. He said he'd never been so happy. Kirk Cousins benched also noted that there will be a divorce between the Atlanta Falcons and Kirk Cousins in the near future, I would assume. Maybe even before the season's over, it's announced. Now, what we need to look at is we've known that Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons were not going to work out. And if they did, they'd work out to a 500, right around 500. Where was Atlanta when Kirk Cousins got axed? Were they 7-7? Is that correct?
6-9, I believe.
Well, right around 500. That's all that we need to know. That's Kirk Cousins in a nutshell. You put a Michael Penix Jr. in there. I'm excited to see what this guy could do. It's going to be the first time, but rookie start. He's 24. He's an adult. He's ready to go. He's going to make this and show us what's up. Expect a big game from him. I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons to walk all over the Giants in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta.
I don't know if I have them walking all over them. I don't think it's going to be that much of a blowout. I do see the Atlanta Falcons winning. I think the Atlanta Falcons at minus 520. I think that you take that easily. Another thing that I think that you take is Michael Penix getting 2 touchdowns off the throw. I really do think that that's possible for this kid coming through. I think that Michael Penix is one of those guys that should not have been on the bench that ended up being on the bench, and now he's going to make a name for himself in Atlanta. Maybe end up saving Atlanta's season a little bit. You
think they could win the division?
I think they have a chance to, but I don't think that it's extremely possible. But next year, if they do decide to go with Michael Penix instead of Kirk Cousins, I think that it's very possible that you see the Atlanta Falcons in the playoffs. But yeah, I think Michael Penix 2 touchdowns, and I think that off the throw, and I think that the Atlanta Falcons money line at minus 520 is perfect. I also think that if you want to look at the New York Giants side, it's going to be a rookie showdown. I'd have Malik Neighbors. I think that you end up taking his receptions because he's done it at least 6 games this year. So I would end up taking that as well.
Give me Drew Lock on the over for touchdown passes, 0.5. Hasn't thrown one all year. Started 2 games so far. This will be the 3rd one. He's thrown 2 interceptions. Let's see him get a touchdown pass here with the Giants this week. Lock it in. Might be a sneaky pick. Add to your parlay, whatever. Want to bet it straight out. I think it's at a plus. We have one more 1 o'clock game to go over, and that's the LA Rams and the New York Jets. An interesting matchup. Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers going head-to-head. They're no strangers to one another, playing a lot against each other through the years. This time, LA is traveling to New York, a new venue against a new quarterback, essentially. Live zone. What do you see happening down in New York?
Well, like I said, if you were listening earlier, I think that the Rams and Seahawks both lose their games this week. I think that the New York Jets plus 136. I'm taking that. I'm also taking the plus 3 for the New York Jets game. I think that them not being favored is good for the New York Jets. I think that you could win some money there if you take the Jets here. I don't know who's gonna have a big game for the Jets. I think it's gonna be mainly just a defensive game on both sides, but it's gonna be low scoring, and I think the Jets are gonna take it.
At this point, I wish I was with you, but I've been thinking the same way for week after week when these Jets play a team that I think they can upset, and then they never end up upsetting or coming through with it. I'm taking the Rams on the road, see the Rams keep streaking. I really think the Rams are going to win this division after what I've seen Geno Smith getting hurt and what I saw from the Seahawks last week, what I see from their schedule coming up, and just where the Rams are at and have Matt Stafford and Geno Smith. You look at him, Matt Stafford has the Super Bowl, has the pedigree, he's been there, played there in all sorts of games. Geno Smith, not quite that level. Give me the Rams to go into New York and beat Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, merely based on the fact that I don't know what we're going to get from the Jets. If you look at a lot of their games, even the games that they win, the first half they don't show up, and then the second half they put up 30 points, 24 points, or vice versa, whatever you want to chop it up to. They're playing in spurts and they're playing unmanageable and uncontrollable football. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get next quarter out of this team from the last quarter. They could put 3 interceptions up that last quarter and then throw 3 touchdowns the next. It's very spotty, all over the place. Give me the Rams to beat the Jets. We have 4 o'clock games. We're moving right along. All right. Let's pop it over to them. We're looking at Vikings Seahawks at 4 p.m. We know Live Zone's already rocking with the Vikings in this game. Just said it. Rams losing, Seahawks losing. Live Zone. Why do you have the Vikings beating the Seahawks this week?
I think that they're just going to stay right on the tail of the Detroit Lions. I think that minus 2.5 is a great number. I see this game being very close. Vikings winning by 3. I have them. And I have the Minnesota Vikings also with the 42.5 over on points for both the Vikings and Seahawks. I think that that's a good thing as well. I think that 24-27 game is really what we're looking at here. So I have the Minnesota Vikings winning a close one, but I think that this puts it back to what we were saying a few weeks ago, saying that the last game of the season between the Seahawks and the Rams is going to be the showdown for that division.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I do think Minnesota should win this game. I'm just praying I'm not picking the one game where Sam Darnold shows up and lays an egg, but I think Minnesota should beat this Seattle team. Seattle is getting back Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker. Geno Smith is probably around 80% in quarterback, but that's better than your backup. Kenneth Walker about 90 to 100%, so that's a great pickup. Vikings, though, a top 5 rush defense in the NFL. So don't know how much of a help that's going to be. If they can contain Geno and that wide receiving core can't get the separation in time and Geno starts scrambling, it might be a tough day for Seattle. Give me Minnesota on the road in Seattle. More 4 o'clock games. This one, I'm looking at as a fun one, honestly. Bottom of the barrel teams, but could be a fun matchup. Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Las Vegas Raiders. Live Zone, how you feeling about this matchup?
I'm really hoping that I see the Las Vegas Raiders win this game. I really hope I see something from Brock Bowers. I don't
Yeah, for
know.
your fantasy team, I hope so too.
Yeah. I don't really know what else to say for this game. I mean, we could see minus 2.5 Raiders win by 3 game. We could also see it go the other way where Jacksonville ends up winning the game because Mac Jones is the what I've seen online, the best bad quarterback in the league. So we'll see what happens. I have the Raiders in this one. I think it's pretty clear. But I would definitely be on the lookout for Brock Bowers.
Watch out for Bowers. Absolutely. Watch out for the Raiders in this one. No faith in Mac Jones and that Jaguars team. Give me the Raiders. Excuse me. Give me the Raiders. to win this game at home with Jacksonville coming to town. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than people think it might be. I think we're going to get in the 20s in this game. 28-24 is the final score I see in this game. A fun bottom of the barrel game. I think a lot of bounces, a lot of giveaways, a lot of takeaways, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of wacky plays. Again, give me the Raiders to get it done. We got two more 4 o'clock games on the slate. We're looking at the 49ers visiting the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Do the 49ers have a chance to make anything happen in this division? And who wins this game?
No, they don't have a chance to make it anywhere near the division. They're already out in my book. I think that they do win this game. I think that we see the two bottom barrel teams of the NFC West win the games, and then the two top teams lose in the NFC West this week. I just think that Miami hasn't been putting out the best product that they can do. Really not getting the ball to Tyreek Hill, worrying heavily on the run game. I just don't like what I'm seeing from Miami. Give me the 49ers -2. Give me the under on the game for over under 44 points. I think that this is an 18-14 game or something like that. 21-14, whatever, maybe 17-14, maybe. But I just don't think that the Dolphins have it in them to win any more games this season. In my own opinion, I just think that they're already clocked out.
Yeah. If you've been following, you know that I said the Niners are going to lose at least 10 games this year. Still think that trend's going to happen. Give me the Dolphins to win at home over the Niners for no good reason other than the Niners shouldn't lose 10 games this season. Lock it in. That's all I got for you on that game. Don't want to talk about it. Moving right along, a sad game to talk about. The Patriots are going to lose to the Buffalo Bills this week at 4 o'clock. So it's just a matter of how much they're going to lose by. I think the line's flirting around 2 touchdowns or something around that. I think that's pretty accurate. If Josh Allen, it all depends on how mad Josh Allen is. If Josh Allen just kind of wants to pop in there and get a W real quick and not get beat around that much, it's going to be a close game. If Josh Allen doesn't care and wants to go in there and run all over him, they're going to beat him by 20. So Buffalo over New England, lock it in. Live zone, who you going with?
So like you said, with these division games in the AFC East is not an easy matchup to play against. I do have the Buffalo Bills winning. I 110% agree with you, but I am going to look at the spread for the New England Patriots at +14. I do like that. I think they can get within 14 points, maybe lose the game by 10 or 7 points. But I think that everybody is really sleeping on what Drake May can do with this team and what this defense can do. So I have the +14 on the New England Patriots. I still think that the New England Patriots lose. I still think that they're going for that #1 draft pick, but I think that they can get within 14 points.
Travis Hunter? Question mark. Oh,
We'll find out.
we're going to have to see. Those are the 4 o'clock games. We got one Sunday night football game, and it's the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. Honestly, a great matchup. Going to be a fun Sunday night game, I believe. Cooper Rush up there against Baker Mayfield. Think the Bucs should walk into Dallas and light them up and put 30 to 40 on their head top, but that's just my own opinion. Give me the Bucs to rout Dallas in Dallas. Live zone, what do you got going down for this one?
No, I definitely hear you on what you're saying about Tampa Bay. Now, here's the only thing that I'm going to say. All right. Rush has been doing a phenomenal job for replacement for Dak Prescott, in my own opinion. He's been winning some games that we thought that he couldn't win. We thought that the Cowboys should be in the same picture as the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, but they're still showing up and they're still playing games. I do have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning. I love that. And then I also love the over on 47.5 points. I really do think that both of these teams can score at least 22 to 24 points each. I think that this game is going into the 50s because we've seen what Cooper Rush and we've seen what Baker Mayfield can do on big games like this in the bright lights. We saw what Tampa Bay did against Baltimore Ravens, how they scored over, I'm pretty sure it was over 50 at that game. So for that reason, I have the over on 47.5 points. I think that that's a really good number.
I like it. Those are the Sunday picks. We got one Monday night game that we're going to throw in there. We're not going to get into the Wednesday Christmas games. We'll get that to you on Tuesday. So, looking at the last game, Monday Night Football, the Saints are visiting Lambeau Field and the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. Personally, my favorite player in the NFL currently is Josh Jacobs. I'm loving him. I got to go get me a jersey. Packers are streaking. They're still in the division conversation. They're still definitely in that playoff conversation, if not locked into a playoff spot right now. With a W on Monday Night Football, they should be. Give me Green Bay at home for sure to defeat these Saints. Live Zone, who you got going and winning this game and why?
When I look at this game, no Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara might be out for the season from what we know. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers minus 14 at the spread. I really do think that they can win. This is the game that I can see being a blowout. It's a Monday night game, so I'm taking the under on 42 points. For some reason, these Monday night games, unless you're the Baltimore Ravens or Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it's going under every single freaking time, even when you think it's a good game. So I'm taking the under on 42. I'm saying Green Bay Packers minus 14. And I'm looking at Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs for what they can do. I think that I would end up taking Josh Jacobs on his rushing yards, and then I would also think about taking Jordan Love on his passing yards. Don't know who's going to score the touchdowns. If Romeo Dobbs is there, I would say Romeo is good for a touchdown as well. So those are really the 4 or 5 things that I'm looking at in this game.
It's going down in Green Bay. It's going down here on Live Zone Sports. It's going down. You know it. Live Zone and Mozzie, as always, with you here, rocking out, doing some picks for the Sunday games. Thanks for sticking with us. Thanks for hanging out. Shout out to everybody that's always here and the new people that show up, continuing to support us. We love showing love, and we appreciate the love and support from you too. We wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, as always. You and your family, all your loved ones. Hope you're safe, having fun. Find us wherever you need to find us: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know, everywhere, Facebook, whatever. You can find us wherever you need to. It's Live Zone and Mozzie, as always. Live Zone, what do you got to say?
Just have a good holiday. We will be here some way, shape, or form on Tuesday if it's picks like this or whatever it is. So just be on the lookout for that. The other thing is that make sure that you're watching Jeff's shows as well. Breakfast Bankroll, Closing Bell, everything in between there. As you know, Monday bets live. Tuesday is Extra Point. Friday is live 5 list, and then Sunday is what usually would be dynamics on the hardwood, but we gave you a nice little episode here for your picks. Thought we were in the holiday spirit, so hopefully we can help you win
Season
some
of
money.
giving.
Yep. So, but yeah, with that being said, you can find me on X. Like Mozzie said, you can find me on any platform. Just look up Live Zone Sports. And yeah, that's all I got.
As always, stay tuned.